the best in this game for a minute. If I want it, then I'ma go get it. Ain't no asking, you know I'ma spend it. I don't go back and forth like it's tennis. I'm in mode, I've been locked on a mission. Cupid G, I ask God as my witness. I'm not pressing my bro off suspicion. Never pressing my bro off suspicion. She from Nola, she got superstition. I'm not waiting and hoping and wishing. I'm not stopping, I'm balling relentless. I'm a stepper, I'm standing on business. In the rumors, I'm minding my business. I'm a tutor, teach you how to get it. I said fin with the ones in your city. We make movies, we all the way with it.
Point them out, 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 point them out. Watch them panic. Got 2 chains on, I'm too late. Got 1 watch on my wrist. I'm round and I'm getting it. I'm young, but I ain't ignorant. They keep asking who the hell you think you are. Him, and him. They keep asking who the hell you think you is. Him, and him.
I told the people, yes, I'm him. I did the impossible, but I'm not Kim. Gotta be by the escalator. If on the rim, hit the buddy with a blitz, we gon' study this film. I ain't gotta say nothing, ain't always for real. Country, trying to give me a meal. You want you some balance, you got you a deal. Mr. Bushwick, bitch, tell me how you feel. No, I'm not from Dallas, but yes, I'm a cowboy. We them boys. We making loud noise. Stay fresh today, I be looking like a house. Got a defensive line that'll make them sit down. Boy, like a D-lineman, but still making touchdowns. Beat them in their hometown, I ain't here now one time. I've been a big bully since I was on the playground. Now I'm all grown up and I still don't play around.
Point them out, 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 point them out. Watch them panic. Got 2 chains on, I'm too late. Got 1 watch on my wrist. I'm round and I'm getting it. I'm young, but I ain't ignorant. They keep asking who the hell you think you are. Him, and him. They keep asking who the hell you think you is. Him, and him.
It's Madden NFL 24, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Baltimore Ravens, and it's all up next.
Well, from a city that normally gets only about 20 inches of snow a year, they're getting a pretty good wallop right now as we're at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gunn on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Here's the former Cornhusker Brett Maher to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 is a 35-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Out to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble in 2nd down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way, and then try and match his athleticism.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
4th down, here's Jackson. Sliding out of the pen, he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap for Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Cup. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 3 yards on the play.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Williams will try again. He was trying to turn the corner, but he will go nowhere. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Now it's Stafford. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. Oh, look at this play call. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And hindsight 2020, I think they probably should have gone for the field goal, right?
The 3 points would look really good right now, but I think what we just saw there, analytics really starting to creep into the game because more and more teams are saying the more you go for it, the better your odds of getting.
Accelerating, and off he goes. The race is on. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Ravens post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson. Really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy is simply sensational.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw here hauled in by Cup. And Kupp going to pick up a Rams first down as he'll get this up past the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And the Rams first down.
On first down, Stafford here. Here's a diving catch right side. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
Every guy that plays this game has plenty of people around him that are concerned for his health and well-being. He had no regard for his body on that catch at all, did he?
Middle of the field, diving to grab it. No, he didn't. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing again is Stafford. That's caught. It's Tutu Atwell. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 15-yard line. 19 yards. The chains. From the red zone now, Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I'm not liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up fourth down. The kick by Marr is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Running room at the 50. Look out. He might score. And he's going to give his guys great starting field position as he dives to the ground to get as much as he can.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
The Raven offense going to take over late in the... And he'll get in! Touchdown, Baltimore! Gus Edwards taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point. Been good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Rams going to take over late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. On 1st and 10, Stafford. It's caught on the right side, Williams. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Throwing is Stafford. toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. The big story thus far has really been the snow. It's made footing treacherous, and if the forecast holds, it's only going to get worse. But I can tell you as a fan, these are the games you love to watch. You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these two coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Not too many breaks. more snow. We are back underway in half number 2. And he will not bring it out. Touchback. Number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this off. Locker room haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either, so certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Here comes the punt it away for the second time. This is taken at the 15. Shrugs him off. Still going. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. He's still on his feet. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 68 yards. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2. Rolling to his right. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass. Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now. Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw is Stafford. He'll get this one complete to Atwell. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established. Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off. And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They run once more with Edwards. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. So, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line. Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, 5... Oh, now, meanwhile, the pass incomplete, but penalty flags on the field. There might very well have been early contact there. Well, they've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort. And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me,
This is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Stafford. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down. Now Stafford. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Marcus Williams getting the sack from the secondary. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Stafford. He's across midfield, and he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come after this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down. Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break.
I can teach you how to get paid, how to get by, and how to get fly. I can teach you how to get cake, if not the whole thing, at least a little slice. Honestly, I'm an immaculate anomaly. I'm an organic organism, ain't no ordinary organs in them. I can't afford any synonymy. That's why my flow is like a cinnamon tsunami with the lemongrass. Ooh, ooh, let me know what you wanna do. If you wanna build, I'm Bobby. If not, then kick it in the lobby. I got a lot to do. Ooh, I'ma watch what you gon' do. If you gon' build, I'm Bobby. If not, then...
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens. And it's coming up next on Madden NFL 24.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
And at the start of Jordan Love's NFL career, he had one of the best seats in the stadium watching Aaron Rodgers work. But now he's looking for more than that. Rocket arm, big play potential. He wants to show this organization he's capable of being a dependable starter for the foreseeable future.
19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down.
Green Bay.
Now Love. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Adafe Owe, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards. Love. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that block is not free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Buying time to his left. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
That's an early scramble to be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Eluding the pressure right. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And that'll be incomplete with a penalty flag here on the field. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that thing go. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
Forced out to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Jackson to throw. Steps away to his left. The quick feet by Jackson. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 in the 1st.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Fighting his way through contact. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain. Now it's Jackson. On the move to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. John Harbaugh never shy about bringing out the red challenge flag, and he'll do so here. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. Flushed out right. And it's caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. We knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 25 yards. And the Ravens will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. They'll look to throw. That's caught. And he will get in to make it 8-0. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. The last series form a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out. They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
A solid stiff arm. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Well, another fine run right there from Lamar Jackson. And CD, that one puts him over 100 yards now for the ballgame.
And remember when all we talked about were 100-yard games from running backs? That when a quarterback did it was a surprise? Well, Lamar Jackson, that's part of the package as well. He'll have as many 100-yard games in the season as the top running backs in the league.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Ravens go up by 2 touchdowns. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep it back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it as we resume action. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.